what you should be aware about if you're considering taking anabolic steroids. So the first thing to point out is you will interfere with your hormones. So in other words, it's possible that, you know, in later life, it may affect your body's ability to just produce regular hormones. So you may have to go on to testosterone replacement therapy, you know, when you may not have needed to as a result of this. The second thing is on the organ function and stuff like that. It's very complicated. I'm not an expert on it, but it affects a lot of the organs. It can affect your health negatively. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you've got normal like testosterone levels, why mess with it and put super physiological levels in there to look a certain way? It won't necessarily make you happier to achieve a certain physique. Secondly, it doesn't guarantee the physique because you'll get strength gains. However, what you need to understand is you have to have all your ducks in a row as well. You have to have the perfect programming in terms of your training program has got to be professionally written and appropriate for yourself. You also have got to sleep very well, and you're not overtrain proof even if you're on anabolic steroids. It just masks the overtraining, and you will, by overtraining, you know, hurt your results anyway. And you may get a very good physique if you're genetically gifted, despite a very bad programming, diet and training, which can really just sort of like long-term harm your health. So also, many guys who actually jump onto steroids, if they don't work out correctly, they drink alcohol and stuff like that, it literally looks like they don't work out. So it's laughable. So, you know, unless you're really committed to becoming like a full-time bodybuilder, and you have to understand, in the bodybuilding world, very few bodybuilders actually can make a living from this. Some can, but it's extremely competitive, and it has a lot of effects on the relationships around you as well. You know, it's not just a case of if you look a certain way, you're going to get happy. It's not that simple. It sounds, you know, from an outside-in perspective, like that's what should be the case, but it's, believe me, not. I think they did a survey and they said, like, if you put all your money, all your energy into looking a certain way, your happiness wouldn't really even register that much. You know, it might a small fraction go up, but so there's a lot more to it than just like aesthetically how you look. And then obviously you have to come off these steroids, and when you come off these steroids, things feel very different. So that's the thing, you have got to account for that. And things may not work, if you know what I mean, like they did before once you come off them. So that's something really important to consider if you're thinking about taking an anabolic cycle. And then the cost of it, doing it. So how much would it cost you financially to do it? So are you in the position where you can afford that or not? So this is all things you've got to really be aware of before you consider doing it. I would say if you're a young person, you need to like try and experiment with what your genetic potential is from just like training consistently, and it all really depends what you want from your fitness. If you want to be healthy, if you want to be attractive, you can get all of that with just being consistent with your diet and training and listening to a good podcast. Maybe look at the Mind Pump podcast, because they have guys on there who have done steroids and they'll be very transparent with you. I haven't done them. I'm on testosterone replacement therapy, but I've never done anabolic steroids, like that kind of like bodybuilder doses or anything like that, and I've no interest in doing that at all, to be absolutely honest, because from what I see, it's just not sustainable, and you have to keep on. And like, you know, honestly, if I had the what's the word? If I had a choice of whether going on TRT or not, I wouldn't, you know, really, because to be honest with you, there's nothing like your health like the way it is when you're young and healthy, the way it is, really. Nothing will replace that. So if you're young and you're healthy, consider that an absolute blessing. Don't mess with it. Train appropriately. Follow the correct fitness advice, not influencers, not Gymshark athletes, not people who do stupid things for attention, like eat stupid amounts of food, get injured, you know, whatever. You know, there's nothing wrong with having a favourite athlete, but maybe just put on like a bit of a coloured lens. So just like look at some of the information, filter it out, you know. So discard some, take some, you know. Just, you know, use an educated lens. That's all I'm saying, because once you make that decision to take those things into your body, you can't take it back again. So be very, very careful, you know, unless you're competing in a particular sport like pro bodybuilding or something where, I don't know, it makes sense to do that, and you know you're sacrificing your body and you're cool with that, then I wouldn't really do it myself. Anyway, if you found value in this video, consider liking and subscribe my channel. I do appreciate it, guys. Have a great day, and stay healthy, keep training, and yeah, comment, like, subscribe.